Thank you very much for joining us once again. Today we are discussing a revised penalty which has been introduced with the Cabinet Resolution number 49 of 2021. This deals with the revision and penalty related to the value-added tax and excise duty. This is a revised Cabinet Decision 49 of 2001. This was old Cabinet Decision 40 of 2009. This is the overall impact on the penalties. The first one is to keep the record. Initial penalty was 10,000 and 50,000 in case of repetition, which has drastically reduced to 1,000 and 2,000. I personally believe there is a typo error, but still it has been given in the Cabinet Decision. We need to respect it. So as per given Cabinet Decision, Cabinet Resolution, the penalty has been reduced very drastically. To submit data and record in Arabic to FTA, initial penalty was 20,000, revised penalty 20,000. There no change regarding this. In case of late registration, initial penalty was 20,000, which has been reduced to 10,000. In case of late deregistration, initially 10,000 was upfront penalty, which has been reduced. Which has not been reduced. Basically, the overall penalty is maximum up to 10,000, but this 10,000 will be applicable in different basically stages. Like 1,000 on monthly basis it will be applicable. If the businesses are delayed only for 1 month, they will be liable to only 1 month penalty. If they are delayed for deregistration for 2 months, they will be liable to pay only 2 months penalty, which will be 2,000. So maximum it will go up to 10,000. This is relief to the businesses as well, but overall penalty maximum is 10,000. To inform the FTA about the changes, initial penalty was 5,000 and 15,000 in case of repetition. So first time penalty is same, but for repetition penalty has been reduced to 10,000. So failure of the legal representative to inform FTA about the appointment, initial penalty was 20,000, it has been reduced to 10,000. So failure of legal representative to submit a return to FTA, no change regarding this. Initial penalty was 1,000 for the first time failure, and it was 2,000 in case of a repetition within 24 months. This is the same in the revised Cabinet Decision as well. So failure of the taxable person to submit the return on timely basis, no change regarding this. Initial penalty was 1,000 for the first time and 2,000 in case of repetition within 24 months. This is the same in the revised Cabinet Decision as well. Failure of the person to pay due tax. So this was the biggest release which has been given by the authority, which has been given through the Cabinet Decision to the businesses. Initial penalty was 2% upfront, 4% after the 7th day, 1% on daily basis, maximum up to 300%. So the cap of 300% is still there. 2% penalty is constant upfront, but 4% which was applicable on the 7th following day, now this 4% will be applicable after 1 month. Means initially whenever the businesses were not paying due tax to the authority, businesses were paying 6% to FTA. Now they are paying upfront 2%. This 4% will be applicable after 1 month. Means if the payment is being made to FTA within 1 month, they will be liable to pay only 2%. The overall cap is same of 300%. Moreover, they said the penalty. Moreover, they said the purpose of this penalty, the due date for the payment in case of voluntary disclosure and tax assessment is 20 working days. So in case this payment is being made related to the voluntary disclosure within 20 working days, then this 4% penalty will not be applicable. Failure to submit correct return means businesses have submitted incorrect tax return. When they submitted incorrect tax return, penalty was there, fixed penalty was there, and percentage based penalty was there. Fixed penalty was 3,000 for the first time, 5,000 in case of repetition. Percentage based penalty was 50% in case notification has been given by FTA and they have started the audit. They have asked for the information to start the audit, which I was earlier, and 30% in case they have given notification and they have not started the audit, and 5% before the notification if this amount was basically this amount unpaid to the authority was there. So this penalty, which was 50%, 30% and 5% in the old cabinet decision, it has been revised. Now the fixed penalty has been reduced from the 3,000 to 1,000, 5,000 to 2,000. Moreover, they said this 50%, 30% and 5% has been reduced. They said if the differential is less than the fixed amount, if the differential is less than the fixed amount 2,000 and 1,000, then the businesses will be liable to pay the actual differential, provided that this is not less than 500. Moreover, they said anyone who corrects the tax return before the payment due date shall be exempted from imposing the penalty specified in the clause 1 and 2. This is the biggest relief, I personally believe, to the businesses, because in case the business are submitting the return, there is an error, they can fix it before the due date without any penalty. This is the highest recommendation to the businesses. They need to submit the return just after the return is becoming due, and in case any variations are there, they will be able to identify, they will be able to revise the return. They need to make a process the payment on or before 28th, which is the due date of payment, so they will not be subject to any penalty. To submit the voluntary disclosure, initially penalty was 3,000 in case of first time, 5,000 in case of repetition. Then percentage based penalty was 50%, 20%, 30% and 5%, as we discussed earlier as well. Now it has been revised, and proportionate penalty will be applicable on monthly basis, and this is the year based penalty. So 5% minimum penalty, 5% in case they are submitting the VD within 1 year, during the 1 year from the due date. Then it is going up 10%, 20%, 30% and 40% if the VD is being submitted after 4 years from the due date. So we highly recommend to the businesses, in case they are required to submit the VD, they need to submit the VD during the first year itself, just to restrict the penalty up to 5%. Otherwise this penalty will keep growing, a maximum up to 40%. Failure to voluntarily disclose errors. So in case the businesses are not disclosing any error voluntarily, initially fixed penalty was 3,000 and 5,000 in case of repetition, 50% of the unpaid amount to the authority. Now they have removed the fixed penalty and they have introduced the variable penalty. This variable penalty, the penalty of 50% on the amount of error and 4% of each month. So basically two types of penalties. One is 50% of the amount of error, then 4% applied on monthly basis. To facilitate the auditor, initial penalty was 20,000 and revised penalty is 20,000. There is no variation regarding this. To calculate tax on behalf of another person, initial penalty was 2%, 4% and 1%, and maximum ceiling of 300% we have already discussed. Now it has been revised with the same ceiling, same upfront 2%, but 4% which was applicable after 7th days. Now this 4% is applicable on monthly basis. In case of VD and tax assessment, if the amount is being paid within 20 working days, then this 4% penalty will not be applicable. To account for the tax on imports, failure to account for the tax on import, there is no change. Initially it was 50% of the unpaid or undeclared tax. Right now this is 50% of the unpaid and undeclared tax. To display prices, this is table 2. This deals with the excise duty. So Cabinet Resolution 49, Cabinet Resolution 40 2017, to display prices, initial fine penalty was 15,000, which will be reduced to 5,000. Businesses, they need to comply certain conditions. In case the goods are moving from one designated to other designated zone, they need to fulfill certain conditions. In case the goods are being stored within a designated zone, an initial penalty was 50,000 and or 50% of the tax. So higher of these two were the penalty, and this is still same. There is no change regarding this in case of failure or violation of this clause of the law. Failure to provide FTA the price list, this penalty has been reduced, because initially first time penalty was 5,000. The first time penalty is same, but in case of repetition, penalty has been reduced to 10,000 from 20,000. This penalty is administrative penalties related to VAT, which is implementation of federal law number 8 of 2017. So failure to display prices, it has been reduced from 15,000 to 5,000. Failure to notify FTA about the margin based scheme, businesses can use the margin based scheme. They need to notify to the FTA in the return. In case they were not notifying, the failure initial penalty was 2,500, revised penalty is 2,500 as well. There is no change regarding this. Failure to comply condition related to the storage or transfer of goods from one designated to other designated zone, initial penalty was higher of 50,000 or 50% of the tax, and revised penalty is same. There is no change regarding this. Moreover, the businesses has been given biggest relief in case there is a failure to issue a proper tax invoice, failure to issue tax credit note, or failure to issue electronic tax invoices, electronic tax credit notes. Initial penalty was 5,000 for each incident, which has been reduced 2,500 for each discovered case. Administrative penalties, determination of the penalty application date. So in case the penalty is applicable on monthly basis, they said if any penalty is applied on monthly on the same date, the date for any month in which there is no charge for that date shall be the first date of the following month. So basically, in case penalty is applied on monthly basis, so and wherever the monthly rate is not applicable, it will be effective from the first date of the following month. This is straightforward condition. So biggest release has been given to the businesses for the pending penalties as well. Here this is pending penalties. Biggest release has been given to the businesses. They can waive up to 70% of the penalty subject to the condition. They are paying a principal amount. They are paying 30% of the penalty, maximum up to 31st December 2021. So we recommend you need to look into your penalty in case any penalties are pending, in case wherever you are required to submit the VD, and in case there some amount is outstanding related to towards the FTA, you need to go and take this biggest relief by just paying principal amount at 30% of the penalty. 70% will be waived out, where condition is this has been paid on or before 31st December 2021. The effective date of implementation of this cabinet resolution will be 60 days from the date of its issuance. The date of issuance is 28th April 2021, so it would be effective from June 29 and 2021. So if I'm asking what are the overall key practical relief, if I'm asking what are the overall key practical relief to the businesses, these are, first of all, late registration penalty has been reduced from 20,000 to 10,000. Late deregistration maximum cap is 10,000, but this will be applicable 1,000 on monthly basis. Prices displaying penalty has been reduced from 15,000 to 5,000. Non-payment of tax, there was initially 2%, 4% upfront, 2% upfront, 4% after 7 days, 1% on daily basis up to 300 days. Now they have introduced the variation, these variation relief to the businesses. 2% upfront would be applicable with the 300% ceiling, but 4% will not be applicable after 7 days. This 4% will be applicable on monthly basis. Incorrect tax return fixed penalty has been reduced, and option has been given to the taxpayer to revise the return before the due date without any extra 4% penalty. Non-submission VD penalty depending upon the year in which VD is being submitted has been introduced. Lower penalties in the initial year of submitting VDs and higher penalties in the later years after 4 years from the due date of submission, which is up to 40% penalty. So proper tax invoices, proper credit note, in case proper electronic invoices, electronic credit notes were not being introduced, initial penalty was 5,000 in case per instance, but now it has been revised to 2,500. Earlier penalties, biggest release have been given to the businesses here as well. Businesses can waive up its 70% of the penalty by providing 30% of the penalty and principal maximum by 31st December 2021. thank you very much for joining us. In case you are in need of any further support regarding this, you can contact at info@crestcooper.com. You can give us a call as well.
Thanks for watching the video. Click on the bell and subscribe to the YouTube channel.